Hi everyone! Can you taste the rainbow?
I can smell the rainbow.
What does it smell like? Like, describe the scene. Are you in a meadow? Are you running through the grass? What does the smell like? You know those parfum commercials? Parfum commercials? Where it's like they have a parfum, but they're running on a horse in the meadow. And you're like, what does that have to do with the smell? Yeah, what's the smell of this?
It smells like Skittles.
It smells like
Cheerios.
And Cheerios. Maybe that's what we have. Just coating these delicious Korean mozzarella corn dogs and these delicious Korean triangle kimbaps. We also have some seafood soup. This is jampong, like a Korean Chinese dish. Have you guys seen those TikToks where you're washing your face and water splashes onto your phone and suddenly you have ordered 47 jampongs delivered straight to your door? You bought 3 new pairs of shoes, a straw beach bag for your upcoming vacation. Yeah, it's that easy. That's all it takes is a few splashes of water. That's basically how easy it is to submit a claim through Morgan & Morgan in case of an emergency. I'm dead serious. I feel like I grew up under the impression that hiring a lawyer is like this big, massive hurdle, this battle that you gotta climb. And it sounds daunting. Like, you're telling me I gotta go look for a lawyer, then I have to sit through these uncomfortable consultations, and then they're gonna charge me my first unborn child, and I feel like I'm gonna get scammed. They never respond to my calls. It's so frustrating. Okay, what lawyer hurt me? I just wanna know. But with Morgan & Morgan, that process has gotten so much easier. If you've been injured, if you've been in a car accident, or if you've been injured at work, or really anywhere, in 8 clicks or less, you can submit a claim to Morgan & Morgan, have a lawyer review your case. So if you're injured and you don't know where to start, with Morgan & Morgan, it's so easy. Morgan & Morgan has completely modernized the injury law process. You can submit your case details, sign contracts, upload documents, any medical records from your phone. It's so convenient that you can even text your attorney and legal team throughout the duration of your case, which you're like, okay, well, Stephanie, when would I need this? Like, why? Unfortunately, car accidents are super common. And I know most people, at least in my life, like, they don't get an attorney when they're in car accidents. But I'm telling you, I will never go back. I always make sure to get legal representation because imagine I said, hey, the insurance company's looking out for you. Do you even believe a word I just said? Get legal representation. Let's be real, okay? You need someone looking out for you. And the last thing you're gonna wanna do is go to a lawyer's office when you're injured. So with Morgan & Morgan, you can submit a claim without ever having to leave the couch. And more than 3 million people have trusted Morgan & Morgan when they're injured in an accident. Oh, and Morgan & Morgan, you only pay if they win. So there's no upfront costs, no sign-up fees. If they don't win your case, you pay nothing. All the calls, messages, text messages, time and effort, completely free of charge unless they win. If you're ever injured in an accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without ever having to leave your couch. So for more information, go to forthepeople.com/bis or dial #law. That's #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/bis or dial #law. That's #529 from your cell phone. And thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring today's video. And let's get into it.
Where should we start with some ramen?
Yeah.
Honey, you can eat ramen.
I know. I just don't want to go through my whole speech about my wisdom teeth again. Okay, this is like day freaking 8. I think I'm going to be good tomorrow. I don't know if I can eat the corn dogs.
Probably can't.
Yeah, probably
But
cannot.
ramen, I think ramen's fine.
Oh.
I think I can do the triangle kimbap if I mash it.
Oh yeah,
But not a
it's
bite.
rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, your favorite thing right now.
Wonton.
Yeah. Fantong, you called me a rice bucket.
No.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Bro, I haven't been able to slurp anything in a week.
Wow. How is it then?
Just like I imagine it to taste like.
What do you imagine it tastes
Best
like?
jambon.
It's kind of spicy.
Yeah, I mean,
Little bit.
I put water in
Little
my
kick
thing.
to
It's
it.
kind of spicy. Huh. Okay.
You love jambon though.
yeah.
Just not right now. So, are you gonna explain to people what you did to these poor corn dogs? What did they do to you?
I don't know. I feel like this is explanation enough.
You should make a corn dog stand and sell these.
Don't they look good?
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
I'll say blue.
What are you gonna do, honey?
I'm gonna do. Well, look at this crazy madness.
Do you guys want to know should I tell them what it's made out of?
Yeah, freaking tell them what you did to these poor corn dogs.
I was trying to find out chips of every color, right? I know that Cheetos has the orange, it's got the red, basic. I'm thinking I want to do the whole rainbow, but what kind of
Can
chips?
I get the green?
I I started Googling green chips, and they had like the Snap Pea chips. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Snap Pea crisps? Not green enough. It's like beige green. It's like that earthy green. It's like that natural green. I want that chemical green.
You want that neon highlighter.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, if chips aren't gonna do, I look up cereals. I found a cereal called Oops the Berries. It's like Captain Crunch, Oops the Berries, and they have these 3 colors in there, and I sat there and separated each of the colors, grinded them, and then coated them with egg, and then fried them.
You're so creative.
Such innovation.
Like,
Thank you so
seriously.
much. And people say that I'm just a brainless YouTuber, which I am.
Who says that?
A lot of people.
Her dad.
My dad, yeah. My mom, my sister. Practically anyone with a respectable profession.
Oh.
But that's okay. Anyway, did you know sometimes celebrities have it rough?
Really?
Okay, think about the worst thing that can happen to a celebrity that normal people can't experience. Like, obviously, people have death and grief and loss in their lives. Scandals. Here's the craziest thing. I always think about this when random news articles where people start a rumor that a celebrity is deceased, has died. I feel like recently there was a rumor that a celebrity was dead. I forgot, was it The Rock?
What?
There was a rumor. Like, randomly, there are rumors that a celebrity is dead.
Here then grab your blue corn dog. Look at that.
This looks...
Crazy.
Okay, here's your...
My green. Ooh.
It's steaming. Okay,
You guys ready for this?
Yes.
Actually, I want to show them.
I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
That's so weird.
Oh my gosh. Honey, you know what else looks good? Look at this triangle kimbap.
Yo.
With the tuna on the
It's like
inside.
pinkish.
Yes.
So colorful.
Right? Is it
This
good?
is so delicious.
Really?
Wait,
Alright,
what?
You know what? I'm just gonna dig in.
Oh my god, how do I describe this? It's so delicious. What's in yours then?
Oh. Wait.
It's actually good?
It's so interesting.
Can I see what's in yours?
It's
Is it-
mozzarella cheese.
Oh, can you show them? Oh, can you put it closer?
Oh.
Oh, let's go.
Damn. Okay, I'm gonna try one.
The sweetness almost make it taste like mochi. Because it's like kind of gooey and sticky, and it has that sweetness from the cereal. It almost tastes like mochi.
It's giving me that Korean duck vibe.
Yes, rice cake vibe.
Rice
yes.
cake, yes.
It's so freaking good. It might even be better than the normal one.
Spicy Cheeto or regular Cheeto?
Oh, spicy for
Can you
sure.
put the spicy on here?
Yeah.
Do you like the sweet one or the?
I'll definitely like the hot Cheetos.
I like savory too.
Oh no, I like sweet ones.
Really?
I think it's because you grew up in Asia.
Wait, what?
No, because I
is-
grew up in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Shanghainese we eat sweet flavor more.
Oh, so you don't like you don't put like spice?
No, I do. But our food tend to be more sweet.
I
Like we
don't-
add some more sugar in there.
I only really like sweet food when they're supposed to be sweet, like chocolate, dessert. Yeah.
No, I like mixed sweet and
I don't like
savory in a meal.
Like in Korea, sometimes you buy a kare. That shit is sweet. And I'm like, why is it sweet? It's a curry. Sometimes when their pastas, their cream pastas are so sweet, I'm like, why the
Why?
f is it sweet? It should be salty.
I don't think sweet should only be dessert. It should be a regular seasoning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So any food
Yeah,
can
like-
be sweet.
But it has to be a limited amount. Like bulgogi, I think is the right amount of sweetness.
Oh yeah, bulgogi.
Yeah.
Okay, bulgogi.
Yeah.
I approve.
It's sweet, but it's not that sweet. Or like kalbi, they put the Korean
Right.
pear. It's like that cool sweetness. That fresh sweetness. Anyways, I was talking
wait.
about celebrity first world problems. Oh.
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 Wow. Wow. That was like 8 miles. There's always these rumors that celebrities are deceased and they have to come out and be like, hey guys, I'm actually not dead. Or where there's rumors when celebrities are pregnant and they have to make a public announcement that they are not indeed pregnant and expecting a human life to exit out of their body anytime soon. Like imagine waking up and everyone is tweeting R.I.P. Stephanie Sue, she was a real one. Like loved her, I'll never be the same again. And then the next tweet is a selfie of them at a Starbucks drive-thru. Okay, like just imagine the trauma of that. You're like very much alive, thank you very much. But that's not that bad because I can easily just say, hey guys, I'm still here.
Yeah.
But a huge Taiwanese actress had something similar, but much worse happened to her. Because not being dead, like I said, it's a rumor that you can easily clear up. This was not. Let me get you the picture. This picture
Why she look so like
oh my god.
she's been through so much pain.
Okay, let me show you what she normally looks like then.
She's Tiffany's childhood idol.
This is
Like,
what she normally looks like.
when she goes to karaoke, when Tiffany in karaoke, that's all her
Oh,
songs.
so she was a famous singer?
Famous.
Famous.
What happened?
A-list singer, A-list actress. And she wakes up to this photo all over the news, trending all over social media. Wakes up and this is everywhere. And the same caption along the lines of, Angela is a lesbian drug user who abandoned her parents for a gram of coke and a group of homosexual friends. Which is like a bombastic side eye on the homophobia. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, what's going on? But she starts panicking. Imagine you wake up, normal day as a celebrity. I'm lesbian? I'm on drugs? I abandoned my family for a gram of cocaine? Wait, I left them for my friends? But would you not be so shocked?
I'll be shocked.
So she starts trying to call her managers, like, what's going on? None of them are picking up.
Oh.
That's weird. Okay, she's thinking, well, let me go into my bank account, order some pizza, I don't know, get some retail therapy, or maybe order a coffee so she can tackle this. She logs on to her first bank account. She can't log in. Second one, she can't log in. She had $3.2 million sitting in her bank accounts, all wiped the same day that this comes. And this is not the situation of ZS. Remember the surrogate, the baby celebrity? It's not a situation where the government shut her down. No.
Oh my.
Something weirder. She lost practically every single penny that day. I mean, this is a crazy case of an A-list actress being scammed, being backstabbed. It's just a whole saga. And it's Tiffany's idol. So... No. So let me tell you about Angela Chang. She was born January 19th of 1982. So she's like 41 years old now. And she was born into a pretty impoverished family. Like, she was the oldest of the siblings. She had a sister that was a year younger than her, and they were struggling so hard. Like, they couldn't even get meals on the table, struggling. And the minute that they finally are doing a little bit better, they have a second to breathe. Angela feels like she can finally have a normal childhood. Her mom pops out another baby. So they're like, okay, back to struggling we go. So now the Changs, they have to take care of a 9-year-old, an 8-year-old, in addition to a newborn baby. And it's just all around a really shitty situation. But they hung on to loose threads. For 5 years, they're holding on like this. Like, we gotta make it work. And then Angela's dad's business went bankrupt. And he was like the breadwinner of the family. So their saving grace was pretty much gone. Except one grandpa. He came in and was like, I got some land in Taiwan. I'm gonna sell it. And that's my whole life savings. I'm gonna be left with nothing. And I am going to send your entire family to Canada. You need to start fresh. Wow. You're bankrupt in Taiwan. You cannot stay here. There's no way you can ever start a business ever again. Maybe there's gonna be more business opportunities in Vancouver. So go.
Dang.
Leave me. Wow. So they go to chase the Canadian dream, except this is one of those times where, you know when something goes wrong and then everything starts going wrong? Angela's dad, the minute he touches down, foot in Canada, Vancouver, serious heart condition. He can't even work. So the family is basically stranded in Canada. They don't have family in Canada. They don't have money to fly back home. They have no relatives. They don't know a single person in Canada. And Angela's mom, JR, she's like, yeah, we're not going back. We moved all the way over here. I'm gonna make it work. She starts working any part-time job that she can get. Mainly she's at restaurants, like doing the dishes in the back. She's cleaning up the floors, and you know, it was a lot of manual labor, which this part I can sympathize a lot with. It's like the immigrant parent story. Back in Taiwan, JR used to be a choir singer. She was so good at the piano, like elegant woman. She had these beautiful, soft, delicate hands, and she would just play the keys with such ease. And now she looks down at her hands. They're constantly just red from all the chemicals and the harsh like cleaning products and the dish soap constantly irritating them. And it's just so depressing. Angela sees her mom and is like, I got you. Like, I got you. I mean, I can see the life being sucked out of my mom. So it's such an immigrant experience. And as soon as Angela turns 15, she's legally able to work, and she's doing everything that she can to bring in some type of money. Like, literally anyone that would hire her, she's out there washing cars. She's like scooping boba into boba tea. Dang. She's going to high school at the same time. I don't think Angela just did this to help out her mom. I believe it had more to do with her younger sisters. Angela was like, She was like their mom. She took a lot of responsibility for those kids. She felt like it was her responsibility to take care of them, and she was resourceful. She was at a boba tea job. She walks up to her boss and is like, if I can get more customers, can you bump up my pay? Like more than what's walking in right now. Okay, sure, why not? So she's out there screaming, boba tea! New flavors! Yeah, like waving on the street like one of those, puff dolls.
Yeah.
She came up with a freaking business model too. If a couple came in and they wanted to buy one boba tea to share, Angela would offer them a discount. If you buy one more boba tea, the second one is 50% off. It's like a couple's deal. Yeah. And they would always buy it.
Smart.
Very smart.
Yeah, she's like the employee of the month until she slapped a customer across the face.
Not smart.
Not smart. Okay, but you know what? It was kind of well-deserved. There was this racist customer who would come in all the time, just throwing slurs at Angela. One time she went even as far to call Angela a Chinese pig. Yeah. So Angela calmly wiped her little hands on her apron, walked around the counter, and slapped the woman across the face.
Oh, wow.
She was fired.
Oh, damn.
But I stand. Yeah, if you're gonna
Wouldn't be
people-
fired today, you think?
Depends on the company.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think like 99% would fire.
Really?
Yeah, Apple would for
You
sure
think
fire
so?
you.
Apple would definitely fire.
Like, I still can't get over that executive that got fired for being in that. What do you do for a living, TikTok?
Wait,
Which one? He got fired.
There was a huge Apple executive that was in like a nice car, and he was like, "What do you do for a living?" And he quoted a famous movie that was talking about boobs, but it wasn't even that vulgar. It wasn't even like, "Show me your tits."
He got fired?
He got fired from Apple. I don't even think he said he was an Apple executive.
Damn, these TikTok be exposing.
She was fired, but she wasn't gonna let people walk all over her. Like, good for her. But also depressing because after encounters like this, Angela would have to go home and face her dad, who reportedly gave the whole family hell because he couldn't work. All he did was sit at home, drink. He spent most of the family's money on booze. He would get drunk. He would terrorize everyone around him. Allegedly, he tried to choke Angela at one point during a family fight. Another time, he allegedly purposely let gas leak from their gas stove because he wanted to kill the whole family. When Angela's mom tried turning off the gas valve, he grabbed her and they start wrestling. The only reason that I think that they're alive today is because thankfully a neighbor came, heard the commotion, stopped it all. This is like a dangerous path of destruction that he's on, and he was so upset with himself and his shortcomings that he was taking it out on the family members, and then he would sit there and wonder why they don't respect and love him as much as they love and respect each other. It was a vicious cycle that would push Angela and her mom even closer together, and he would get pissed about that. So Angela and her mom, they would sit on the counter and they would talk about how they were going to be famous one day. They're like, we're going to get out of here and we're going to live a rich life. Like, no more paycheck to paycheck, okay? How? They just wanted a new stove at first. That's how it started. Or like a new refrigerator, because this one was breaking down every 2 seconds and their food was going bad. So remember how JR was pretty good at singing, the mom? She was pretty good at singing and piano. Angela had this beautiful voice, but at first she wasn't the best at holding a beat, so she wasn't technically trained. And her mom would take her to the karaoke place like 2 to 3 times a week, and she would just practice singing. From there, they start entering her into these singing contests where the prizes were like small cash prizes. Like the family would save up these cash prizes and buy a new stove, like buy a new rice cooker. Okay, they were not fancy like America's Got Talent. They're like local church gymnasium singing contest. You know what I'm talking about? Which is still impressive if you win, but just showing you how far she's come. Angela starts singing at a bar, and this is in high school. Immediately after high school, her mom's like, "We're gonna go back to Taiwan. We're gonna go because maybe you're gonna be a Taiwanese star." So they leave the dad and the siblings. They're like, "Don't worry, guys. We're going to send you some money. Angela's going to be a star." They go all the way to Taiwan, and it sounds like a scam. Like, how impossible is it to debut in the entertainment industry when you have no connections, no money, nothing? Angela is not a Nepo baby. I'm getting, like, ZS flashbacks. So because Angela couldn't afford to hire an agent, her mom is her agent. For a year, they couldn't even afford feminine sanitary products. Instead, they bought paper and pens. Not
Paper
to
and
use
pens.
down there, but like to write resumes. They would write resumes with the money that they were supposed to use on feminine products. And they would write resume after resume and submit it to any music agency that ever existed. And Angela was rejected from like basically every single one of them. And they didn't even just send her like, "Oh, sorry, we're at full capacity now." They weren't even like, "Sorry, we're going in a different direction now." They straight up told her, "You're too thin to be a singer. You just don't have the right look. You're not really pretty enough." Someone said, "Stop. Your voice is so annoying. You're making my ears hurt." At one point, Angela's mom is like, should we just give up and go back to Canada? Maybe we should just try again in a few years. But Angela's like, no, let me just try a couple more times. And finally, an agency named Lynn Fair Records called Angela for an interview and was like, do you want to come in? They look her up and down. I don't think you have the look to be a singer, but I think you could be an actress. She looks very cute. Didn't she look very cute? Like very youthful? Very girl next door, like innocent. She looks incredibly innocent. So they offer her this leading role in a Taiwanese romance drama called My MVP Valentine, which is a pretty big fucking deal. Angela was so nervous. She's second guessing herself because she's never freaking acted a day in her life. And she's starring along all these seasoned actors. I mean, this is crazy. So all day, all night, she's learning how to read a screenplay. She spends hours in front of a mirror just practicing her lines. She couldn't even afford a professional coach. It was a bumpy road. But the TV director didn't even like Angela. He requested to have her replaced halfway through. They did not replace her though. Yeah. So she managed to film the entire thing and the show got really good ratings. The audience loved her. They said, okay, she's not the best actress. She does get better. She's not the best actress, but she's got like this fresh innocence to her.
在开始有了这一份工资，我其实特别的开心，因为我觉得我终于可以养家了，赚了钱给家人买一个好的房子，就开开心心的幸福的过日子。
Then the roles just keep coming. I feel like I'm getting ZS flashbacks, but it's gonna get really crazy, okay? The roles just keep coming in. She even gets a record deal to do the outro to one of the shows, like the outro song. And that led to her releasing an album called Over the Rainbow.
Is this why?
It was not. That was pure luck. I didn't even... Why didn't I connect that in my head? Okay, Over the Rainbow. Everyone was like, oh, this is good. You want to know why it's good? Because it wasn't one genre. Like, one song, you'd be listening to cute pop. And then the next song, she's like screaming into the microphone. And it was very confusing. And they were like, this is an artist. Yeah, Tiffany loved it. Tiffany was dying. She's listening to it on her CD player every day in China.
Tape.
Oh my
Tape,
god.
guys. Come on,
Bro.
come on.
Those were the good days.
But what's cool is with our generations, we lived through it all. We had tapes and then CD and then MP3 and then
iPod.
Sony Walkman.
and then
You know what I really liked? My portable DVD player. I have a crazy memory I don't think I ever talked about. At one point, my dad had a club.
had a nightclub.
A literal nightclub.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom was like, oh, we gotta go.
You
like,
remember this, Dad?
Very vaguely.
we were so young.
I went there once.
Yeah, I was so young. And my mom was like, we gotta go, right? And I'm like packing my portable DVD player. I remember she's like, you gotta pack it. And she walked me. Why is there no back entrance? She walked me through the front entrance, and I'm just like this 5-year-old holding my mommy's hand, going up the steps to the office that has windows overlooking the nightclub, and there's a sleeping bag, and I'm laying in the sleeping bag watching Shark Boy and Lava Girl
Yeah.
on my portable DVD player, and it just...
Wait, this is nighttime or daytime?
The club was pumping. It's like...
Oh, the music was going.
But it's like 2 in the morning.
What the f are you doing there?
Yeah.
Why are you still awake?
I have
Is that
some-
legal?
I don't think so. I think my mom should have been investigated by CPS, but here I am. I'm fine.
Nah, you good.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Allegedly. This story was alleged.
This story is alleged.
It may be a dream.
CPS, this never happened.
Yeah.
Who takes their kid to a club at 2 in the morning? That's illegal.
Come on, GPS.
Come on, BTS, come on. It's released in 2009, and she's like, the Invisible Wings, is that your sister's favorite song?
Oh my god, you sing the Chiba. It's like the song of the KTV. 隐形的翅膀 Come on, it's like, come on, it's the song. Like every Chinese knows this song.
So apparently this song was used to even help people learn Chinese. Like it's such an iconic song in China.
Yeah.
This just tells you the impact that Angela Chang had on Chinese culture. But it wasn't just music. She's in acting. She's starring in all these huge hits. I think she played the Chinese version of like a Disney princess movie. It was just called Romantic Princess. It's very vague, you know, trademark and licensing problems. It was a little bit more dramatic than a Disney movie would be. It's about a young woman who finds out that she's the secret heiress to this huge fortune, but she and her siblings have to fight over who's going to inherit grandpa's money.
Very original.
She became an it girl for that. In 2008, when China hosted the Olympics, she was even invited to be a torchbearer, which I hear is a big fucking deal. Is it a big deal?
Apparently.
So, again, she's a household name at this point, and part of her success was thanks to her mom's support. Angela and JR had a very strong mother-daughter relationship. Like, from day one, it's the two of them against the world. Wherever Angela was, her mom was there. She's like her biggest fan, cheering her on. She's like her manager, her momager. She oversaw all of Angela's contracts, her business deals. But not only that, JR controlled all of Angela's finances. So most of Angela's bank accounts were opened under JR's name. And that might be because Angela was 19 when she first debuted, but Angela trusted her mom fully. Like, there was no indication that her mom was doing anything shady or irresponsible with the money. In fact, I think the most extravagant thing that her mom had bought was for Angela. It was like a mic for Angela that was encrusted in like 1,000 crystals. It had her name spelled out, and it was just really unique and thoughtful, you know? And then the headlines came out. The famous star Angela Chang's mother is having an affair. There were photos of JR walking out of a hotel, holding some guy's hand, and just passionately making out with the dude. Which is shocking for a few reasons. One, Angela's mom, JR, is still married to Angela's dad, who is in Canada. I mean, everyone thought they were doing long distance. They weren't. They basically only talked once in a while to talk about the kids. They just never signed the divorce papers. But number two, the most shocking reason had to do with that JR was photographed sticking her tongue into a guy named Chang Ho-chi.
The hell is that?
He's a Korean singer that debuted in Taiwan, and it's giving me Barbie-esque flashbacks. Okay?
Wait, so she's dating a Korean idol?
Korean
singer?
Yes, but he's trying to make it in
Taiwan.
Yeah. And that's not the problem, though. The problem was he was signed to the same agency as Angela was signed with, which I personally didn't see the problem, but everyone was like, oh my God, the mom is basically dating her daughter's coworker. I don't know if it really applies, so.
But still, what's the problem in that?
Yeah, I didn't see the problem. They weren't doing anything explicitly
just shocking,
wrong.
right?
It was shocking. And to add to the not shocking part, he was the mom's age.
Oh.
So it's not like he was like a 21-year-old that just debuted or anything crazy like that. But it was horrible PR for Angela. Her whole thing was this innocent, cute girl image. And now they're like, oh my God, your mom's a little cheating asshole. That kind of kills your cute girl image. Which, like, why?
Even though it has nothing to do with her.
Exactly.
It's your
It
mom.
doesn't make sense. The worst part was the public kept wanting Angela to comment on this, as if she had anything to do with her mom's personal life. Paparazzi started swarming Angela's place to the point where she couldn't even exit her apartment because people were packed like sardines on the driveway, in the hallway, everywhere, just waiting for her to come out, just flashing their phones at them. Angela had to call up her friends to bring her food and smuggle her supplies because she could not leave. So finally, she's like, I gotta do it. I gotta make a public announcement. And she said, and I'm paraphrasing here, this is a loose translation, I don't understand why I need to apologize for my mom, but I guess I'll apologize. I did nothing wrong. Why does nobody understand that? Angela also went on to say that she wanted her mom to be happy and she supported every decision that her mom made. Angela really didn't have to say anything. Like, this was not her battle. Technically, it had nothing to do with her. But she stuck her neck out for her mom, and by making a statement, she absorbed all of the hate. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is the daughter who approved of this affair? Like, what kind of weird daughter promotes cheating? What kind of daughter is okay with it? And people were like, it is so much more fun to attack the it girl than it is to attack some random middle-aged woman. So they start coming for Angela. They stop hounding the mom and they're coming for Angela hard, which, by the way, I think it goes without saying that Angela's parents divorced after this incident. But anyway. But what Angela did, I think it just shows how loyal she was to her mom. And you would expect that when Angela is at her lowest, her mom would also reciprocate. And she does. So in February 2008, Angela is rushed to the hospital. She's diagnosed with a genetic heart condition, likely the same thing her dad has. And the condition would flare up anytime Angela was stressed and overworked. In just a few months, she dropped over 20 pounds. Trigger warning for anyone who doesn't do well with numbers. Angela was down to 79 pounds. Wow. That's like a dangerously low weight. That's so dangerous. That plus the heart condition, Angela was so sick, she just needed to get away. Like, she cannot do this anymore. She's gonna die. She decides to hop on a plane last minute and fly to Canada. I think it's one of those trips where it's like, if I'm in Taiwan, I'm gonna keep working, and I know myself, I just need to take myself out of this. So her plan was to go for 2 months, heal, come back, and try to work again. Angela's mom is like, okay, You go to Canada, you stay with your siblings, I'm gonna hold it down in Taiwan, I'm gonna hold down the business part, right? She gets to Canada, wakes up one morning, and that picture is everywhere.
What?
That picture that I showed you. And that picture is insinuating that she's a drug user, and that's why she looks like that. That was when she was sick with her heart condition and lost 20 pounds. No makeup, literally so sick. She's hospitalized and like trying to figure out what to do with her life because nothing is going well. So she calls her managers. Her mom, not picking up. She calls her dad, who's not picking up either. And Angela has no idea where her parents are. She opens up her laptop and her name and face are all over the news. I mean, it's just horrendous. She doesn't even understand how they put those two and two together. It's like taking a picture of someone and then completely misconstruing the entire narrative with this one picture. Also, the homophobia that's reeking in it. So Angela, she's going through all of these media outlets and she's reading, just fast-paced reading about all these allegations that are not true. She's pounding. Her heart is pounding in her chest. She's reading through article after article. And wait a damn minute. She sees that all of them have something in common. Her mom is mentioned as a source in practically all of them. They would say, and I quote, Angela Chang's mom accuses daughter of abandoning her family, blatant disregard of filial piety. Do you know what filial piety is?
Yeah.
It's like, I think Koreans are big on this, but Chinese are really intense on this.
Yeah, you have to respect the elders. You have responsibility to take care of your parents when they're old, bring them kids,
Yeah.
all that kind of good stuff.
So she's claiming that Angela kicked her elderly parents out onto the street and spent all of her money on her girlfriends because she's gay. What does that have to do with it? And she said that she's leaving all the parents out and all the family out to dry. Just being like the opposite of what you would expect from a good daughter. And her mom is saying all of these things. Her mom is slandering Angela's own name. I hate when adults do this. I hate the older generations that call out the younger generations for not respecting their elders. Meanwhile, they have no respect for the younger generations. I'm like, I don't have to respect you if you don't respect me. Like, you literally don't deserve any of my respect if you're gonna be an absolute asshole right now. They treat their children like trash and then get upset when their children don't bow down at their feet. Like, it's mind-boggling. Angela's mom was calling Angela a drug addict, and she just didn't understand why would my mom and my dad and even my uncle are saying these things to the press. Like, what the f*** is wrong with them? And then it clicked. The person who froze all of her accounts, the only one that had the legal power to do so, was her mom. She transferred over $3 million from Angela's accounts to her own, literally wiped her clean. There wasn't a penny left.
Wow.
Angela was stranded in Canada with no money, no support, with the internet just coming for her. And all she could do was read the news and read about how she was named the worst daughter in all of Taiwan. Angela later said in an interview, for about 2 months, I didn't leave the house. I couldn't buy food. There were rarely people helping me. People were just laughing at me and watching the fun. I just felt so desperate.
具体哪一年我们就不说了。也就在那一天开始，我的人生有了360度的一个旋转。当时其实我的身体有点不好。是比较严重的是心脏出了问题。当我跟我妈要医疗费的时候，她跟我说我们没钱。我说不可能，因为掌控金钱的人不是我，我顶多就是只有1个月的生活费而已。回到台北的时候，看到我家外头贴了一个封条，就是要查封的。接着下来我就去了催缴中心单位。一位女孩子，她拿了一叠这么多的证明给我看，她说所有的一切都不是在你名字下，是在你母亲的名字下。我脑中是一片空白的。
She couldn't even try and talk to the press. Meanwhile, her mom kept talking. The worst part was that JR wasn't just accusing Angela of being a bad daughter. She was accusing Angela of being a bad sister, saying that Angela did not care about her little sister and brother. This goes on for 2 months until Angela finally flies back to Taiwan, and because she's a celebrity whose entire image was the cute, innocent girl next door, the rumors about drug addiction literally ruined her career. She tries to do a press conference, and she had previously done a urine test. So she's showing the results like, I'm clean. There's literally nothing in my urine. I'm telling you, I haven't done anything that my parents are accusing me of doing. I've never financially cut them off. In fact, they've taken all my money. Like, I don't know why they're doing this. This is not the real story. People do not care.
Or they're already like so into the original story.
I think there's a lot of good people on the internet, but I will say a lot of people on the internet just want to see someone fall, I guess. So they were too invested in her falling from grace. So
and then a lot of people were probably like, I knew it.
yes, and now to go back and say, well, now I'm not sure, I guess it would make them feel weird. So they were just honing in. They're like, we don't care. You're the worst daughter in the world. She lost all of her brand deals. I mean, countless contracts fell through. The worst part is that even Angela's former friends were taking her mom's side. One of her best friends, Christine Fan, a Taiwanese singer, they collaborated on a few songs. They were really close for a long time. After Angela was accused of being involved with drugs, you would think that a close friend like Christine would defend her. But instead, Christine stole Angela's personal assistant, and together, Christine and the personal assistant posted on social media that Angela was a horrible boss and a horrible coworker.
Christine Fan?
Yeah.
She's another famous singer. She's like the other singer that Tiffany sings at karaoke.
Well, where is your sister's alliance? You know?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
It was just
Yeah.
really, really messy. Angela laid low for almost 3 years, and the only people supporting her were her siblings. The day of her 29th birthday, there were new headlines. This time, they were centered around Angela's brother. So his name is Carson, and he's only 20 years old. He was 10 years old when Angela and JR moved to Taiwan. He was raised by his second oldest sister and his dad. We now allegedly know what Angela's dad is kind of like, because Carson was always very scared of his dad. Their dad had multiple domestic violence reports filed against him in Canada. In 2011, Carson is serving in the Taiwanese army. He's stationed at the military base close to where his parents live. I guess the parents are living together again. And the parents would come and harass Carson on the job. They'd pop up at the military base and make a scene. Usually they were there to ask for money, which is crazy because they stole $3 million. But maybe they blew through it in 3 years. And they wanted ridiculous amounts of money. They were asking for a monthly allowance of $33,000.
From Carson?
Yeah.
Wait,
Someone who's in the army?
Basically get it from your sister Angela.
Oh my god. But she has no.
Maybe they thought that she has some real estate that she could sell or something.
Bro, they ruined her life and now they
Yeah.
want more money out of her?
Yeah.
No shame at all.
Carson would say no, and they would make a scene. January 19th, Carson requests a day off from his duties. He's gonna go meet with his parents. He wants to sit them down and tell them, you're not getting the money. You're not. Stop bothering me. Angela wasn't gonna go with him because, she shouldn't meet her parents. But one of Angela's and Carson's friends, Flora was there. And Carson asked Flora if she would keep him company because he didn't want to see his parents alone. Flora agreed, and the two of them waited outside the military station for the parents to come up, and the Changs pull up like they're trying to jump him. Out the car comes Mrs. Chang, the mom, Mr. Chang, the dad, 70-something-year-old grandma, and the uncle. It's like they were there to jump Carson. He's like, what the hell is going on? Apparently, they were hoping that Angela was going to be there so that they could ambush her, but she wasn't there. So they cut to the chase with Carson, and they're like, you better give us a monthly allowance, which Carson again refused. And there was a huge heated debate. At one point, Carson steps away because he's kind of scared of this physical altercation that feels like it's about to happen, and his mom is screaming at him, why are you stepping away from us? Do we have to beat you? Flora, Carson's friend, steps in between Carson and the family, and the dad starts swinging. And she was hit. She had hair pulled out. I don't know if their intention was to hurt Carson or to hurt Flora. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Flora is getting bonked on the head. JR is freaking pouncing on Flora, pinning her to the ground, allegedly, and starts grabbing her hair, pulling it out in clumps. And she's screaming like, F you, you're shameless, you have no business here. At this point, someone calls the cops, and before the police can arrive, JR rushes to sit on the curb. Just look at this woman who went from punching. She rushes to sit on the curb.
My god.
Ruffles her hair to make it look like she was the one that was attacked. As soon as the cops arrive, the freaking 70-year-old grandma starts pointing at JR and going, film this right now. Basically telling her daughter, film how you were hurt. So the grandma's in on it too. And Flora was the only one that had injuries on her body. She had cuts, bruises. She also said the 70-year-old grandma stomped on her hand. She said the only person that didn't hit her was the uncle, but he was screaming at her like, you're dead, I'll remember your face, you're dead. She went to the press and she pressed charges, but the family was being a shit show. Carson's dad also claimed that he was injured and that he dislocated his shoulder in the struggle, which Flora responded, okay, I'm sorry that he hurt himself while he was trying to hit me too hard. What do you want me to say to that? She also pointed out that his shoulder wasn't even put in a cast. It just had medical gauze around it.
Medical gauze.
Which I didn't know if that helped. But he insists on pressing charges against Carson and Flora. The fight becomes huge public news, and somehow people are still blaming Angela for it. She wasn't even there. But the public was demanding all an apology, and Angela was like, I literally did nothing. Like, what do you want me to apologize for? She was under so much pressure that she finally agreed to pay her parents a monthly allowance of nearly $50,000.
What?
How? She doesn't have money.
So at this point, she did have some money. She had a lot of ups and downs. She struggled a lot with her health, her mental health. Like, she would gain 40 pounds, lose 40 pounds in like a month.
Wow.
So dangerous for your health. She couldn't work for months. She wasn't in a good headspace, but her sister was so supportive and was like, you got this. So they all cut contact from all three of them were like the parents, all three kids. And they're just supporting each other. And from there, Angela was able to rebuild herself. She took cooking lessons. She started working out, getting her health back. Then she started investing whatever little bit of money that she had left into her own business. She was really smart about it. She thought, okay, well, I'm canceled in Taiwan, but in Canada, people don't really know me. I have a clean slate there. So she launched a shoe collection called Temptation. It did pretty well.
She literally started over?
That's actually mad respect.
Yeah.
If it's succeeded.
Yeah.
Did it succeed?
Yeah, she launched an
Wow.
eyewear collection called I Spy. Yeah.
Wow.
Ice Spice?
I Spy.
I Spy?
Yeah. She even became the CEO of her own record label. And
Holy
God, that's
That's
like...
actually inspirational.
Wow.
And you're like, how successful? Well, in 2015, she could afford to buy her brother and sister a $4 million home in Shanghai.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy.
But the parents still trying to suck the money out of her.
After what they did.
But she agreed.
Because sometimes you just feel like you can't cut them off.
Yeah.
You know, like the show The Glory, the daughter sent the mom to the hospital.
The evil mom?
Yeah.
Not evil mom, the main girl's
the
mom.
main girls. Yeah.
She said evil.
Very evil. It just wants money.
Yes, I think she's like the biggest villain. The other people, sure, bullies, all that, whatever. But this is your mom. Knowing what's going on, the mom still did all of that. I think
still
she's
signed.
Exactly. I think she's the biggest villain. Her mom is giving the same energy as the show.
Yes.
Just the same.
Yeah.
Just for money.
Just for money. Yeah.
And then also a lot of talk about family. Like in the Glory, the mom always kept talking about blood is thicker than water.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, how are you gonna... And then this lady is like, she abandoned her family.
That's manipulation.
Yes, it's like,
Irony.
don't be talking about family. But there was one thing that she really wanted to do. Angela just wanted to sing again. So in 2017, she's 36 years old. It's been like 7 years since she got canceled. She was hoping that maybe enough time had passed and, there's new brands on the market, there's a new audience. So she goes on the show called The Masked Singer.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm
Widely
getting
popular.
goosebumps.
Yes. So the contestants, they are typically celebrities and they wear masks. So the judges have no idea who's performing. The audience has no idea who's performing. And the reason that that's super important is because, like I said, the contestants are typically famous people. They're not going to be like super famous. It's very rare that you're going to see a whole set of like Beyonce singing next to Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish and like BTS is right there. Like you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that. These are people that are either trying to make a debut or maybe I don't want to say that, but maybe they were the height of their career has long passed. So the judges, they could be biased if they know the contestants personally. But if everyone's wearing a mask, the concept was so good. Concept is good. Angela, she's on the show and she gives the performance of her life. Her performance was so gut-wrenching that the audience literally screamed for her. But the
People knew
minute
it was her?
No, the minute she took off her mask,
No.
everyone was like, oh, whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
They're like, whatever, she's outdated.
What?
Like the hype, it wasn't like instant. It wasn't like, what? It was like, oh, it's Angela, yay. And then they moved on. So she didn't really get much attention from that. But she did not give up. She went on another singing contest called The Singer, and this time she performed a song that said, "The lover who roves around." There was a lyric that goes, "My mother and father told me to go wandering. I had tears while walking. Where should I wander to? Straight to Taipei. No way shall I lower my head for the reality. I will raise myself up." And as she's singing, she's like bawling. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. She's like crying her eyes out and there's tears just streaming down her cheeks and there was so much raw emotion. the audience responded so much better this time because it feels like she's singing from the heart. And then she had another song called Adiao, and it's like ill-fated, infatuated, waved goodbye to youth in countless stations, willing to be ordinary but unwilling to accept the ordinary failure. And she said, you are a Diao, you're a free bird. And she was like crying, yeah. And it was so moving, it was so poetic, and I feel like it reflected her life. I mean, she fought for herself and now she was free. People were bawling. This was like her come up. People were calling her a goddess forgotten by time. People were saying 10 years later she's 35, but she looks and sings like she's still 25. This was the break she needed. The entertainment industry was finally ready to accept her again. So I found some sources that say that she's working on an album, or she's like soon to release an album. So maybe that's in the works. But her family couldn't sit still.
Oh my gosh.
As soon as Angela was making money again, they were like, it's time to milk the cash cow. Her mom is like 60 now. I mean, I just wonder if her knees hurt from how fast she's jumping to accuse Angela of abandoning her again. How can she abandon you again if you guys have been in no contact? She immediately calls up reporters and is like, did you know what my daughter did? She left me out to dry at this tender old age. And now I have to support myself by working a minimum wage job as an immigrant in Vietnam. They moved to Vietnam. Insert crocodile tears. Angela's mom, uncle, and dad went to Vietnam and they did a whole interview after Angela's hype started again. Angela's dad claimed he was living under the poverty line. He couldn't work because of his heart condition. He had an unstable income, barely paying rent, barely affording his wheelchair. He said he ate toast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh my god.
But he can't even afford a toaster, so it's flaccid. Soft toast. He said he was in debt, $20,000. Angela's uncle, her mom's dad, he barely waited for for the brother-in-law to finish. So Angela's dad to finish. He said Angela Chang promised to pay $2,000 a month, but she never kept her words. Your mother carried you for 10 months during pregnancy, Angela, and raised you to be a singer. You were treating your parents terribly. You didn't buy them any property, but you said you did. You never transferred money, but you claimed you did. I would get down on my knees if you did. If not, you will get down on your knees. If you don't get down on your knees and give your parents the property and money they deserve, we will sue you for abandoning your parents. We will ruin your career. Angela Chang is a real ungrateful, wicked woman.
The fact that there's a parent like that, like in real life, I thought that's just in dramas.
No, then there's so many of these
That's
toxic.
actually crazy. Like
I cannot stand. I cannot.
just because they're
stand.
older or their parents, they can do whatever.
Exactly. I freaking hate that. Like we were just talking about this. Me, Tiffany, and Stephanie were saying it started with like, why are old people like evil and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Some people are saying, why do we feel like more and more old people are evil? But the truth is, it's just evil people are all getting old now.
Yeah. So many old evil
So it's
people.
not, they're nothing
my
special.
God.
They're all just evil people. And they're older. They're still freaking evil. And they use age to their advantage. Like, oh, I'm so
I'm
old.
older.
Exactly.
Respect me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or they scream elderly abuse.
Exactly.
And you're like, I did not elderly abuse you. I just refuse to be manipulated by you.
And I think Asian culture is even worse because we have to respect the elderly. We have to take care. Otherwise, we're considered ungrateful sons of bitches. That's just the most evil people.
I don't like that. Like, I did not choose to be born. So,
Yeah. And then it's like these people are like, oh, your mom carried you for 10 months and raised you, blah, blah, blah,
I
blah,
hate
blah,
that.
blah.
And then they're always like, I put a roof over your head, I fed you, I clothed you. You followed the law. You would have been arrested for child neglect had you not done those things.
Yeah.
So,
And it goes both ways. We respect them.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
better respect us.
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, he got full on angry, just so angry. He said that he couldn't stand it anymore, watching his sister, Angela's mom, suffer in her elderly years. And that Angela was so ungrateful. He basically screamed, "You are a bastard, Angela Chang." I think now the whole netizens thought it was ridiculous. They also behaved like private detectives, or should I say public detectives. They dug up background on Angela's mom, and they found out that she did work at a restaurant. So she's like, oh, I work minimum wage at a restaurant, right? But the restaurant was owned by Angela's family, Angela's uncle.
So she works at her restaurant.
Her
own.
brother's restaurant.
So she's basically like the owner of the
It's like
restaurant.
a fancy steakhouse in Vietnam. So it was actually doing pretty well. So like no one feels bad for you anymore. You are not this suffering elderly woman. You're actually doing quite fine. Yeah. But the internet is still kind of divided. Some people are on Angela's side. I would say most people are on Angela's side. I think one of the arguments is also, you know, if all 3 kids cut off ties with their parents, I think it's a parent problem. Like when it's one kid, it's kind of confusing of like, oh, it's tricky. We can't get involved. It's not our family. But when all 3 kids and they go on to be successful without their parents, but there is a small group of people that argue they're still their parents.
Oh,
After what she done to her,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Which side are you guys on? I mean, is there any
Like-
scenario where you see yourself disowning your parents?
yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of scenarios.
If it's to the point like super bad,
Yeah.
you just have to.
I don't know. I think if anything is toxic, you cut them off. It doesn't matter if it's your parents, your siblings, you gotta cut them off. I really don't like the they're your parents thing. I'm like, yeah, they are my parents, which is why it's extra fucked up, okay? That's like literally the point that I'm trying to make too. They're my parents. They're supposed to know better. Anyway, who hurt us? Let's go all cry. I'm doing great with my mom. Should I call her? I fucking love her. What's going on with me? I'm like
she's
ready
nice
to
to you.
cry.
She loves you.
I know, she loves me.
Yeah.
Kind of. She just texted me. Can you send me a picture of your Amex card?
Oh. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm like, wait a minute. And then she goes, just in case, also the visa in case they don't take Amex.
Oh.
Wait a minute. I think I've seen this movie before. And I didn't like the ending. So, guys, if you guys see a picture of me, that's it for today's video. Make sure to check out Morgan & Morgan, linked in the description. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.